I'm stood on Sir Matt Busby Way. Why wasn't the weather like this before the Ipswich game on Wednesday night? It absolutely ruined selling United We Stand. It was like standing in a shower. Cheers to everyone who bought the mag. We will sell this issue for the last time against Fulham on Sunday in the FA Cup. So I'd spent the previous 6 days, I went to Turkey. I did several interviews there, and the one which has gone out today is with Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. That was for The Athletic, and he's doing really well there. It's early days. I said, you've only been here a couple of months. He said 5 weeks and 2 days. Okay, all right, calm down. And he's played 8, he's won 6, he's drawn 1, and he's lost 1. So it was really interesting for me just to walk into a football club, and I met his players, I met his staff, and some of the staff have come from England, and just to feel what it's like at a club where the team's winning. It's been a while since it's been like that here, and I'm pleased for him. I think he's a good guy. I think he's a good manager, and he's at a good club. It's a huge club, and I hope he does well, and I'll follow his results. And he was talking a lot about tactics, and he's got some good young players, but it's very difficult for them to compete with the two biggest clubs in Turkey, who are Fenerbahce and Galatasaray. I also watched them. Wow, what noise. And I'd love it to be more like that here sometimes. I think that United fans really need to get behind the team at the moment. This team needs support. Now, I get that it's chicken and egg. I get people saying, wait a minute, it should be the players bringing the best out the fans, not the other way around. I get that. But I also think that real support can help the players whose confidence has clearly been battered. You know, the opposite of that is just booing and jeering, and at times we all feel like doing that because it's been really bad, especially at Old Trafford. But I also think, and I know the players think this, imagine if the fans are properly behind, roaring them on. I'm not saying that anything will change. I certainly hope it would change, but I'm also realistic. These are very challenging times to be a Manchester United fan. At least that win against Ipswich means that relegation is highly unlikely now. At least there is a gap. It looks like the teams who came up are going straight back down. I don't really like that. Don't like the fact that the teams who are set to come back up are the ones who came straight back down. I love sport and football when there's jeopardy in it. I had a big issue with Bayern Munich winning the league all the time in Germany. I just thought that's just not good for football. So it was good when Leverkusen won it last year. But my main concern is Manchester United. Now, we saw the win against Ipswich. I gave the man of the match in my eyes, but he was actually the official man of the match as well, in many eyes, were to Bruno Fernandes. And we've put him on the front cover of the new United We Stand, which comes out against Arsenal. And the strapline is, well, at least we've got Bruno. And it feels like that at times because I feel he's the one truly world-class player at Manchester United. There are other talented players, but he has been the best signing of the post-Ferguson era. He had a talismanic effect when he came from Sporting in January 2020. I spoke a lot to Ole Gunnar Solskjaer about Bruno. I know he was really proud of that signing. I think he worked out better than just about any other signing. And I've seen that Bruno's also received some criticism as well. I feel that Bruno's probably good enough to get in most of the top teams in world football. He's versatile. So we saw against Ipswich, not only was he creating, putting good balls in, which led to chances and goals, he played in a more defensive role than normal. So Ugarte was ahead of him. And there's times when I watch Bruno where I get frustrated at his petulance, at his whinging. And I'm not saying that this is the perfect footballer here, but what I am is that he's got pure drive, he's massively talented, he's versatile, he scores, he assists, and he's playing in a poor team. If he was playing in a better team, he'd be much more influential, but he's still massively influential for this United side. So that's why we've put him on the front cover. I'll be honest, we didn't have a huge choice of who we were going to put on the front cover because things have been pretty bad, and the league table shows that. This is uncharted territory it's worse than that 89-90 season. United being in 15th and 14th, and hopefully there can be a rise towards the end of the season. But I've been saying that for months and months. I'm running out of time now. We're going to tick over into March at the weekend, and the season finishes in May. Now, it's a really, really important end to the season. It's a really important time at the moment. That's why we need players like Bruno. And when Bruno was given the captaincy, I spoke to a lot of people inside the club and said, is this the right decision? Because they know more than I do, because they're working with him every day. And I got a pretty emphatic yes. He's the one who shows leadership. He's the one who tries to knit together a complicated dressing room where there have been cliques, where there are different nationalities, where there are different linguistic skills, where when everything doesn't go to plan, there can be a blame culture. And it was put to me that Bruno tries, because it isn't easy, and it hasn't been easy, and it's still not easy either. But Bruno is essential, more so because we're missing Kobbie Mainoo, because we're missing Ahmad, because we're missing creative players, because the players who play in front of Bruno, their figures have been frankly disappointing this season. So we need Bruno, and we need victories. We've got Fulham now. Fulham are decent. Keep saying that. They're a decent team. They will be vengeful because Manchester United keep beating them at Craven Cottage, and United have got a very good record against Fulham. I think it will be extremely difficult on Sunday, and yet it's crucial to keeping the hopes alive for this season. We all saw what the FA Cup did last season. That win against City is one of the great moments of Manchester United's modern history. It saved the season. It got Manchester United back into Europe, and Europe is important for many, many reasons. Long gone are the days where people, and plenty of people said this, including journalists, we shouldn't be in the Europa League. We should focus on the league. Nah. Europa League's an important competition. Not the Champions League, but it's where Manchester United are at the moment. United finished 4th out of the 36-team group and went straight through to the last 16, where we will meet Real Sociedad. La Real is what they're called. Never call them Sociedad. Never call their neighbours Athletic Bilbao. No, they're called Athletic Club, and it's Real Sociedad or La Real. They're from the wonderful, and it is a truly wonderful, Basque city of San Sebastian or Donostia, if you're saying it in Basque. Wonderful for food, for football, for beaches, for culture. And it will be the 3rd time in just over a decade that United have played there, having never played there before. Tough game. 2 tough cup games coming up. Their star players, Martin Zubimendi, they've been slightly out of form. They needed a playoff to go through. So I've studied a couple of their games. I saw them lose, because I don't just do Manchester United. Saw them lose against Lazio, who were the group winners, and they went down to 10 men, but technically they will be like any Spanish team. Very, very good. Now, Manchester United blew them away in Turin. Remember that? Manchester United played a game in Turin during COVID under Solskjaer. I don't think United will be blowing this Real Sociedad team away. Garnacho scored that amazing goal when he linked up with Cristiano Ronaldo. Remember him? November 2022. In the stadium there. Beautiful stadium. Been redeveloped in a really sensible way. One of the best stadiums in Spain now. So we've got Fulham, and then we've got Real Sociedad, and then we've got Arsenal in the league, and then we've got Real Sociedad again. So it's a key 2 weeks. Season could really fall apart if we go out of them 2 cup competitions. Now, why is it important to stay in Europe? A, financial. Manchester United's financial planning is geared towards being in European competition. B, more competition, more games, means more revenue, more matches for fans, more trips to go on for fans. United have built a squad up to play in multiple competitions. The whole structure of the club is built towards playing in multiple competitions. When I went to Besiktas at the weekend, they've got 2 analysts. Manchester United would have 5 or 6 analysts. You don't need that many if you're not playing in cup competitions. So everything's being scaled down here because it needed to be for many reasons, and I'm very uncomfortable with some of the choices that have been made, but I get the argument for cutting costs. And for a football buzz, you win the Europa League. It would be brilliant. It'd be brilliant to go to Bilbao in the semi and the final. This is what we live for. It's glory, glory, Man United. It's about beating City in the FA Cup at Wembley. It's about doing well in the Europa League. We shouldn't be turning our noses up at any of these competitions. Yeah, Manchester United used to be good. Well, they're not good now. This is our level. We should absolutely respect these competitions, and I think we will do. I think Ruben Amorim will play his strongest teams. He knows that Cup can lift the mood off the floor, but this is an injury hit, out of form Manchester United team. Cup form has been good this year. It's league form where has been the main issue. But in the Europa League, United drew the first 3 and then won 5 on the bounce to finish high up. We need to carry that on. Real Sociedad are weaker than they have been. Got a good manager, but they're mid-table in Spain. That's disappointing. They're not the preeminent Basque team that they were 3 or 4 years ago. They've slipped, but they're still a technically very, very good team, and their fans are going to be right up for it over there. So Fulham, and then Real Sociedad, with Bruno at his best, get some decent results, and we march on. That's me being optimistic. We all know what we want. Come on, United.